Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just be officially updating you on some more latest news. There is lots to negotiate on this video today, but I'm just going to give you a bit more additional information in regards to Paul Pogba. So I do believe that Paul Pogba has come out and he's indicated out that he could still leave Manchester United this summer. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows deep down of how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is, but I still believe his future remains uncertain at Manchester United. Don't forget we have got until the 2nd of September to negotiate the sale of players. Now obviously we do know for the entirety of the summer that Paul Pogba has been subject to a hell of a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously he come out a couple of months ago and said that he publicly admitted that he wants to leave Manchester United. He also come out and said that he's seeking for a new challenge, and he even did say, Paul Pogba, that he was even willing to go on strike to force a move away from the football club. But we do know this summer Paul Pogba's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. There's also been reports emerging out of the media saying that he could make a return back to Juventus, because obviously he did have 4 good years in cheering. But I do believe Paul Pogba's actual first choice preference has been Real Madrid, and his likely destination of course has been Real Madrid. In that obviously we're very adamant actually that Paul Pogba is not for sale. I think it did say we've put a price tag of around £180 million in, so basically we're demanding more than double than what we initially paid for Paul Pogba back in 2016, because obviously we did pay £89 million for him. Obviously he is our most expensive signing, and I think Real Madrid are willing to pay up to £180 million for Paul Pogba. So we do know basically Real Madrid have had a good they've done good business throughout the course of the summer. Obviously we do know Real Madrid have spent around £300 million on 5 players. I think they have generated some of that money back, because they have sold players, and I think they've generated around £100 million in that. But I think Paul Pogba has indicated out that he could still leave Manchester United this summer. I think reports emerged out quite a few days ago in the media saying that Paul Pogba said he's fully committed to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's projects, but I think it's very imperative that we keep Paul Pogba at the football club, because obviously we failed to recommend a midfielder in throughout the course of the summer transfer window, and obviously we needed someone that could play alongside Paul Pogba in our midfield. And I've got concerns of elements in our midfield, because that's one of the areas of course where Manchester United are lacking in that. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe for now. For this season I think his job is safe regardless of what happens, because I think the board have come to terms that they didn't back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough throughout the course of the summer transfer window. Obviously Solskjaer didn't get all the players that he did want in. Obviously it was good that we got that experienced centre half in, we also got that right back in, we also got Daniel James in that. So obviously we spent £148 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka, and of course on Harry Maguire in that. But the board did initially show that there was going to be a back in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this summer, but obviously he didn't get all the players that he did want in. But Solskjaer gave his overall analysis on the summer transfer window. He did say he was delighted with our transfer business throughout the course of the summer. But I think he's going to be back in the next couple of windows as the board have killed Shaw, because I think the vast majority of Manchester United fans have been demanding Ed Woodward out. They've also been demanding the Glazers out. But Solskjaer recently spoke anyway with Ed Woodward about the lack of business in the current transfer market. But it's only been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first summer as Manchester United manager. But I did say certain players at a calibre and level would have had reservations about joining the football club, because obviously we're not in a Champions League football for this season and all that. But I think the players we was in for throughout the course of the summer, I think we'll probably revive our interest in them back in the January transfer window. So I think we'll go back in for Bruno Fernandes in January. We may reignite our interest in Christian Eriksen. We may even go in for Dybala in January, because I did say it was going to be extremely difficult anyway for us to address all the problematic areas in one window and all that. But I think analysing our squad as it stands at the moment, it is good enough for a top 4 finish. And I think our expectations this season anyway, will be to finish in that top 4, maybe win some silver. And obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to exceed these expectations. So our expectations this season, will be to finish in the top 4. I didn't just say our aspirations, will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons and that. But we have got big ambitions for the future, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to get back to winning silver, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to bring the winning mentality back to club. He wants to get us back, winning trophies and all. So we have, got big ambitions and that for the future. But in regards to Paul Pogba, I want him to stay at the football club. And I know since he rejoined from Juventus, back in 2016, he's been mainly inconsistent as Pogba, but I thought he did really, really well, throughout pre-season. He had a really, really good second half against Chelsea on the opening day of the Premier League season. Obviously, we won 4-0. Obviously, Paul Pogba, provided 2 assists. So we still do know deep down of how much imperative player he is. Paul Pogba's still got 2 years left on his contract with Manchester United, with an option to extend it by a further year. I think Paul Pogba, will get given his chance, to be the captain this season. If Ashley Young, of course, is absent, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was currently saying. But I think Solskjaer, has spoken a lot about Paul Pogba, especially throughout pre-season. I think he's spoken to Paul Pogba, and he's also, praised Paul Pogba throughout the course of the summer anywhere. Solskjaer has spoken to the vast majority of our players. But Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, he came out, was it around 2 or 3 weeks ago? I think it was the start of pre-season. He actually came out and said, Paul Pogba is in the process of leaving Manchester United and all that. But like I said, it was initially in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plan, to actually, build a side around Paul Pogba. So I hope we can now keep him at the football club. I know we'll generate a substantial amount if we do currently sell the player, but Real Madrid are not willing to pay up to £180 million for the player. But Paul Pogba did confirm a couple of months ago, that he does want to leave Manchester United. But basically, he's still in his prime. He's only 26. He has still got him a lot of years ahead of him. And when he's at his best, and we have seen, we have seen him at his best at Manchester United. He is one of the best midfielders in the world, and of course, he is like 2 players in one. But it's not only this summer that Paul Pogba's been, widely spoken about and subject to a lot of transfer speculation. Reflecting back last summer, Paul Pogba, was subject to a lot of transfer speculation, and that was obviously based on his poor relationship under the Jose Mourinho era. And he endured a very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era because Pogba never really got given a chance. And plus, Paul Pogba, had a bad relationship with him when Jose Mourinho got sacked from the club. Obviously, Paul Pogba, got one of his current best wishes and all that. I think there was talks about him going back to Turin back in, last year. There was also talks about him, going to Barcelona, back in the January transfer window. But let's be honest, Paul Pogba hasn't really replicated, what he did at Juventus, since he rejoined Manchester United. And I did say with Juventus anyway, they've also done good business this summer, just like Real Madrid have. So if Juventus were to get him back, I think Juventus would have to offload 1 or 2 of their essential players anywhere to fund the move for Paul Pogba, because I just don't think, they'd be able to afford Paul Pogba outright. But Paul Pogba's stats were very impressive last season. Don't forget, he scored 16 goals and provided 11 assists in 47 games in all competitions. That he's won the Europa League with us and the League Cup. Obviously, that came in his second season with Manchester United and that. And also, Paul Pogba's not only the most expensive sign, he's also one of the highest paid players at the club. I think he's on around, 290 grand a week. But I actually believe that, was it all the team, or the majority of the team last season got their wages cut by 25% with our failure, of course, to qualify for the Champions League. But Solskjaer told Paul Pogba quite a few weeks back that he doesn't need to leave, to fulfill his ambitions and that. So his future, still remains uncertain at the moment. But I believe anyway, we need to sell more players. More players need to be sold at the football club, because he is problematic players at Manchester United. Obviously, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival, 4 players have departed the football club. Obviously, Lukaku left last week. I think that was really good business for Manchester United, because obviously we generated a substantial amount for the flop, and we also generated the money back that what we paid for him from Everton a couple of years ago. So I'm glad we got rid of Romelu Lukaku. Obviously, we know that Valencia left at the end of last season after he served 10 years at Manchester United. We also know Ander Herrera left the football club, and of course Marian Fellaini left the football club. But that midfield was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority basically. And obviously we was looking for a replacement for Herrera and Mario Fellaini, and obviously we're orchestrating on keeping Paul Pogba and all that. But we have brought 3 good players to the football club and all that. I think Wan-Bissaka, he's had a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. I thought he did well in his debut, his Premier League debut against Chelsea. He's really, really good. He shows that ability to part from the back. He's quick as Wan-Bissaka. His distribution, his distributions and that, is really, really good, and he can intercept, really, really well. Like he did do against Chelsea. I recall him making about 7 or 8 interceptions against Chelsea. And I think he's had a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. And obviously, Wan-Bissaka is going to be our first choice right back, but we've got quite a few full backs. I think Ashley Young's probably going to be the backup. We've got Dalot as well. Dalot can play as a right back. he can play as a left back, he can play as a right winger. You know, that lot, you know, probably will get given his chances this season. You know, you've got Luke Shaw, obviously he's another fullback. We've got, obviously he's our first choice left back. We've also got Damien and that, so we have got around 4 or 5 fullbacks, of course. I think Harry Maguire, you know, he's had a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. I thought he was fantastic on his debut against Chelsea. I think the vast majority of Manchester United fans, you know, said he was the man of the match. And I think Harry Maguire is going to be a really, really good player for Manchester United. I do believe he's going to really, really succeed. Maybe we did overpay for him. We did pay £80 million for him. Obviously, he's the most expensive defender in the world. Obviously, he's our second most expensive signing, you know, just behind Paul Pogba, because we did pay £80 million for Harry Maguire. But we do know this season that obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice preference is going to be Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof in our back line and that. And I think they're going to complement each other, you know, really, really well. But they'll be our first choice centre backs this season. So we have got a lot of central defenders now, as you all know, and I think we need to orchestrate on getting rid of one, because I think we've got around 6 or 7 central defenders. But Harry Maguire is the best option that we've got in our back line anyway. He's the best option. With Victor Lindelof, you know, these question marks, you know, can he keep the consistency up? But I think he'll do really, really well this season, Lindelof. You know, Lindelof's now been at the club over 2 years. Obviously, you know, we got him a couple of years ago from Benfica. I thought Victor Lindelof in his first season, you know, struggled with consistency, you know, didn't really settle in. But I thought there was vast improvements in Victor Lindelof's game in his second season and all that. His distribution was good, he was showing the ability to part from the back, he was passing the ball well. And he's demonstrated this so far this season. He did well throughout pre-season, he also did well against Chelsea. So I think Victor Lindelof has got all the attributes to definitely, you know, succeed as a Manchester United player. So obviously that's going to be his first choice centre-back partnership. But maybe Solskjaer may rotate it in the cup games and that, you know, maybe it won't be Harry Maguire and, you know, Victor Lindelof in the cup games, you know, he may rotate the squad a little bit. But like I said, you know, we've got a lot of central defenders, you know, the likes of Smalling and Phil Jones. They're going to find it very, very difficult now to get in the team. And, you know, we do know Smalling and Jones have been, you know, 2 long-serving players at Manchester United, as you all know. You know, Smalling's been here 9 years. Jones, of course, has been at the club 8 years. And, you know, they're no longer good enough now to represent Manchester United, and I thought it was bad business, you know, for us, you know, giving them 2 new long-term contracts. I think we're orchestrating on keeping Alex Tuanzebe at the football club, you know, reflecting on the serious knee injury that Eric Bailly had sustained. Obviously, we do know that Eric Bailly is out until Christmas time with a serious knee injury. Obviously, he sustained this knee injury against Tottenham throughout pre-season. And Eric Bailly, you know, is still a very imperative player, and he has got a great potential as Eric Bailly, but he's been at the club now over 3 years. But I think his Manchester United career has been mainly affected, you know, with the amount of injuries he has sustained. I think it's really taken its toll on Eric Bailly in that. But yeah, he's out for up to 5 months. Obviously, I think with Rojo and Damien, I think they both need to leave the football club. You know, with Rojo, I think he did well throughout pre-season. I'll give him the credit, but I'll credit him in that aspect. But he's just no longer the first. He's not first choice. He's Rojo, and plus I think his Manchester United career has been mainly affected. You know, with the amount of injuries sustained, and you know, Rojo's just basically injury prone, just like Eric Bailly, of course, was injury prone. Obviously, there was rumours going out on deadline day saying that Everton were in for Rojo. Obviously, you know, we put a £25 million valuation on him. Obviously, you know, Rojo's just got under 2 years left on his contract with Manchester United. I think he's been here a good 4 or 5 years now. But Rojo can play centrally. You know, you can also put him on the left. But I think Man United definitely need to get rid of him. Now, I've got the same thoughts about Damien. You know, Damien has enjoyed a very difficult time at Manchester United. You know, he hasn't really been given the chance as a Manchester United player as Matteo Damien. You know, he's been here since, you know, 2015. Obviously, we know we did initially, you know, get him from Torino. But I think we'll look much better now defensively, which is going to, I don't think we're going to leak nowhere near as many goals as we did last season. Because last season, you know, we conceded, was it 54 goals in 38 Premier League games, and that was actually not our highest total, of course, in 40 years. But I think we'll do better this season, because last season was a huge disappointment. You know, we finished 6th. Obviously, you know, finished around 32 points behind Manchester City, was it? You know, we failed to qualify for the Champions League. But I do believe this season, you know, we are going to have a much better season than that. So I think more players definitely, you know, do need to be sold. Like I reminded you earlier on, we've still got until the 2nd of September, you know, to negotiate the sale of players. Analysing our midfield now, I've got, you know, that I've got concerns about our midfield, and I know how much of a good player that Paul Pogba is, but we do need to keep Paul Pogba for now, at least. Obviously, if Paul Pogba is to stay at the football club, or if he is to get injured this season, where's our backup in that midfield? We have got the likes of McTominay, we've got Andres Pereira, we've got Fred and that, and I know they've done really, really well, throughout pre-season that, but I just thought, I'm very sceptical about them. I just don't know if they are the long-term solutions for Manchester United, and I just don't know if they've got all the attributes to succeed at Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, I think McTominay will do well this season. Pereira, I think he could do well this season, and with Fred, I think all them three players I've just mentioned to you, I think they're much better solutions than Nemanja Matic, because I think they're more mobile on the ball than Matic, and I think of course they are better on the ball than Nemanja Matic and that, but I just don't know if McTominay, Pereira and Fred have got all the attributes, to succeed at Manchester United. My overall attribute on Fred is, I thought he did well, throughout pre-season. He also did well towards the back end of last season, did Fred. But, he hasn't performed to the same, same standard level, as he did do, when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk. Because to be fair to Fred, I thought he was an exceptional player, when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk. But he hasn't really replicated this at Manchester United. To be fair to Fred, he never really got the opportunity under Jose Mourinho and that. But I thought he did well, throughout pre-season. He did well towards the back end of last season. We paid just under £50 million for Fred, so he's actually on that list of one of our most expensive signs. So I do believe, the club overpaid for Fred a little bit in that. But I have got a lot of strong concerns in that midfield and that. And obviously we've had good midfielders. We had Scholes and Carrick back under the Alex Ferguson era, and they were a fantastic centre midfield partnership with Scholes and Michael Carrick. Obviously, were the two long-serving players at the club. And I did say, we need to get a couple of midfielders in, that can emulate into like Michael Carrick and Paul Scholes. And I think if we'd have got Bruno Fernandes, because I would have been excited about the prospect of Bruno Fernandes playing alongside Paul Pogba, I do believe them two would have emulated into like a Scholes or Michael Carrick and that. But I have got concerns in our midfield. But like I said, I've got strong concerns with that midfield. And obviously you've got Matic as well. I know people talk about Matic, he's highly experienced and, he's, won Premier League titles and all that, because he did win the title and that with Chelsea, I think, was it once or twice. And he's obviously highly experienced, he's not getting any younger, he's aging up and that. But you do now, I've got so many strong reservations about Matic, too slow. He's too slow, he's not really quick. He can pass the ball sometimes and that, but, I've just got so many strong reservations about him. And I just don't think he's good enough to represent Manchester United, because when he plays, that midfield of course looks totally imbalanced. So I think in January we've definitely got to invest in that midfield. We've got to bring at least one midfielder in. Obviously as well throughout the course of the summer, don't forget, we was in search for a right winner. Some people are still saying we need a replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Some people are saying we don't now need a replacement for Lukaku. Obviously recently Ole Gunnar Solskjaer explained the reason why we didn't recruit a replacement for Lukaku, obviously to prioritise the development of Mason Greenwood, because obviously Mason Greenwood has been assured more playing time this season and all that. But I think the young players were at fruition throughout pre-season, and I think the young players are going, the young upcoming players are going to be at fruition this season for Manchester United, because I do believe the majority of the squad will get the chance. So the young players, the fringe players, the experienced players, they'll definitely get all their opportunities, and I think the young players are going to do really, really well. I think Greenwood, Chong and Angel Gomez a big part of the squad, are going to be a big part of the squad this season. But yeah, I think definitely the young players will get given their chances. I think we also, as I've been analysing pre-season in the game against Chelsea, I think we also look much better in that attacking third of the pitch now. We do look a lot better, because we've got that pace now up front, and that's obviously something we lacked last season was that pace. This is why last season wasn't scoring enough goals. This is why I wasn't ruthless enough in front of their goal, because we didn't have enough of that pace up front. But we have now got that pace. You've got Daniel James with electrifying pace. Don't get me wrong, Daniel James is still a prospect, and he needs time to develop, and there is still improvements needed in his game and that. But I think he's done really, really well so far. You've got Martial and Rashford, who have both got a fantastic pace. And obviously already, Rashford's got two goals this season in the league, and that's after one game. You've got Martial, of course, that's scored one goal. You've obviously got Paul Pogba, that's provided two assists. And I think Rashford and Martial are going to do really, really well this season for Manchester United. And I do believe they can exceed expectation levels at Manchester United. Rashford's developing, Martial, of course, is flourishing. I still don't think they've quite emulated to that level as yet, but I think they're definitely going to get to that level. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. I think Martial, of course, will play play more centrally this season. Obviously now he has been given that number 9 shirt, but I think to be quite honest with you, Martial seems to be more effective in that central position, and as that did get indicated out, throughout the course of pre-season. I know you can put Martial out wide, but I think he looks much better in a central position, and I think with Rashford as well, you can play him out wide, you can also play him centrally. Rashford's supposed to be more effective centrally. Maybe Rashford will play centrally a few times this season, but I think Solskjaer's preference will be putting Martial centrally instead of Marcus Rashford, because Rashford can perform well out from the flank, don't forget, but they are two good young players, because Rashford's 21, he's 21 now, Martial of course is 23, so they have still got a lot of years ahead of them and that. Obviously we've got, like I said, but we look much better now in that attacking third of the pitch. We do look a lot better. I think we're also good on that left hand side, and I did say last season the majority of our attacking seems to be coming from that left hand side last season. Obviously you've got Luke Shaw, that's very reliable at left back. I think he had an average game against Chelsea, to quite honest. He wasn't brilliant, but he's definitely still an imperative player, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw won the double player of the season last season, reflecting on his impressive performances and that. So I think we look okay on that left hand side. I didn't used to say we didn't need to address that left hand side anywhere, but we definitely still need to get at least one midfielder in January, maybe even two midfielders in of course in January, and but like I do say, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got all the attributes to succeed at Manchester United. We've had a great start so far, 6 wins out of 6 in pre-season, 1 game out of 1 in the Premier League, and of course we have won that game. But I think we're going to have a much better season this season. I'm still very sceptical about Manchester United winning the league. I don't think we're going to win the league. I said initially I don't think we'll win the league in the next couple of seasons, to be quite honest with you. I don't think we'll win the league in the next couple of seasons. Maybe we could win it next season, depending on who we're getting in January, or probably perhaps next summer. But I think, I don't think we'll win the league this season. But our definite team is good enough, to get qualification for the Champions League this season. But like I said, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can succeed at Manchester United, and that. Obviously he's spending £148 million obviously this summer. It's only been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first summer as Manchester United manager, but I did say, we have been a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, but I said the main factor reason why we have been a toxic club, because obviously we've been mismanaged. This is obviously the main factor reason why we have been underachieving. Of course, I think just under £1 billion has been spent in the last 6 years, since Alex Ferguson's retirement and that. So a hell of a lot of money has been invested into the football club. If you want to take into account, what we spent under Alex Ferguson in 26, 27 years, it's way over £1 billion we've spent. I think we spent just like £700 million under the Alex Ferguson era and that, on players and that, and but yeah, a hell of a lot of money has been invested into the football club. A hell of a lot of money has been invested into the football club over the years, and but analysing, the majority of this squad anyway is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. There's only 3 players that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, of course, so you can still say like he's in the process of rebuilding. Obviously, you've got 11 of Jose Mourinho's players here. That Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is still inheriting, and we've spent just under £400 million under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, the still players from Van Gaal here is inheriting. Obviously, Van Gaal brought a vast majority of players in. He brought a lot of players in, did Louis Van Gaal, and we spent a substantial amount under him. Obviously, there's still some players here now from Van Gaal. There's some players that have left now. Obviously, so yeah, he brought a lot of players in. He brought the likes of, Martial, and he was still at Manchester United. I thought Martial did well in his debut season with the club, by the way. He also brought, Depay, and didn't really work out for Depay at Manchester United. Enjoyed a very, very difficult time. He brought Falcao, he bought Di Maria in. Actually, Di Maria is one of our most expensive signs, so obviously he's on that list. I know he's not at Manchester United now, but we've paid just under £60 million for him. He brought the likes of Luke Shaw in, who's still here. Obviously Ander Herrera, but obviously now Ander Herrera's left the club. He brought him in. And he bought Schweinsteiger in. Who else did he bring? He bought Schweinsteiger in. Schneiderlin. So yeah, he brought quite a lot of players, and I don't think I can remember every single player that Louis Van Gaal brought in, but he brought a lot of players in. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still inheriting them. Under David Moyes, obviously he brought Juan Mata in and Fellaini. Obviously Fellaini left in January. Juan Mata, of course, is still at the football club, and there's still players here from the Alex Ferguson era that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inheriting. There's still Smalling, Jones, Young here from the Alex Ferguson era, also too David De Gea, and the likes of Smalling and Jones and Ash Young have obviously they've been, and De Gea, should I say, they've all been long-serving, players at the football club and that. But like I said, still further more investment is needed. And I've been infuriated in the last 6 years or so with the lack of silverware as well, because we haven't really won much. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. Obviously, that came under the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, that was in Alex Ferguson's last season, by the way, when we won the league back in 2013. Obviously, that's over 6 years ago now. And we didn't win out under the David Moyes era. We won the FA Cup under the Louis van Gaal era. Obviously, that came back in 2016. Obviously, won the Europa League and the League Cup under the Jose Mourinho era. Obviously, that came in his first season. But even if it doesn't go as we want it to go this season, I think the board have assured that Solskjaer, will not be sacked, because the board have come to terms. They realise, that they haven't, backed him enough, throughout the course of the summer. And obviously, we all love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that, and I hope it works out for him, because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. We've already sacked 3 managers, since Alex Ferguson's retirement, and that, so we haven't got the structure, of course, to keep sacking managers. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can succeed at Manchester United. He has got the experience as a manager, not really to the highest level. Don't forget, he proved himself when he was the interim manager in his first 3 months at Manchester United, and that. He also won a couple of Norwegian titles there with Mould. Well, Mould at a big club, let's be honest. He only had a short tenure with Cardiff. This Solskjaer, it didn't really work out for him at Cardiff. Obviously, he only had a really short tenure there. I think he actually got Cardiff relegated. But I think Solskjaer is going to do really, really well at Manchester United. But I've already provided a couple of reasons why it didn't work out back under the Jose Mourinho era. Even though at the time we appointed Mourinho, we thought it would have worked out, on his pedigree and all that. He's obviously won trophies everywhere he's been as Mourinho. So, but it didn't work out for him at Manchester United, because obviously the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend into the football club. Because obviously Jose Mourinho's priority last summer was actually to recommend a central defender in. Obviously he also had bad disputes with the board as well. He had bad disputes with quite a few of the top players. Obviously, there was no kind of winning philosophy under Mourinho. There was no sort of transfer strategy under Jose Mourinho. So these are the reasons why it didn't work out under him. But at least under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there has been a transfer strategy there, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm at the end of last season that he worked out his transfer strategy. He wants to recommend a number of young players to come to Manchester United that can grow, develop and emulate and that superstars. And he did initially say that he wanted to recruit, British talents to the football club, and he did do that because he brought 3 British players in. And we have got a lot of British players in our squad. You've got Rashford, that's British. You've got Rashford, that's British. You've got Young, that's British. You've got Lingard, that's British. You've got Smalling, that's British. You've got Phil Jones there, that's British in that. So yeah, we have got quite a few British players in that in our squad. But actually, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's preference was at the end of March was to actually get our transfer business completed by the time we initially went out on pre-season. But obviously that didn't materialise. But like I said, I will be happy with top 4 or top 3 this season. If we finish out of the top 4, I will be very, very disappointed. Then maybe the pressure could mount on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But I'm very, very hopeful that we can get the top 4 this season. But like I said, we have got a good squad. We had a great squad under Alex Ferguson's generation. We always used to boss the transfer markets under Sir Alex Ferguson. We had great players. We had the likes of Wayne Rooney. Obviously, he was along serving a player at the football club. Obviously, I think he spent 13 years with Manchester United. Obviously, our record leading goal scorer. Obviously, with 200. Well, our record all-time leading goal scorer with 253 goals. So Rooney was a long-serving player at the football club, and I think Rooney now is actually no player. Is a player coach at Derby, if I'm right, Wayne Rooney. But I think after he left Manchester United, was it back in 2016 or 2017? I think he went back to Everton, where he initially began his career in that. So he returned to his former club after Man United, and then I think he went to play in the MLS. And now I do believe he's a player manager at Derby. Is Wayne Rooney in that. And but yeah, we had a lot of good players under Sir Alex Ferguson, because we had 26, 27 years of success. Obviously, we won 13 Premier League titles. We won 20 all in all. So we are the most successful team in England, historically in that. But yeah, we had great players. We had Ronaldo. He served 6 good years at Manchester United when he was younger. We had the likes of Tevez. We had Scholes. We had Carrick. They were a great centre midfield partnership. with Scholes and Carrick, plus 2 long-serving players at the club. Ryan Giggs. He was absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. Obviously, Ryan Giggs. I think he must have spent in total around 24 years at Manchester United. Didn't he join in around 1990? I think, stopped playing in like 2014, because obviously at one point we actually recommended Ryan Giggs in as the interim manager. I think obviously I think he only managed 4 games for Manchester United. Ryan Giggs, of course, I think made around 672 appearances for Manchester United. I can't remember how many goals scored. Was it over a century of goals that Ryan Giggs did score? But I think he made over 600 appearances for the club. So he was a great player, Ryan Giggs. I thought Gary Neville was a really, really good right back for us. Very, very good pundit now, to be fair. Talks a lot of sense. And I did initially say before we got Wan-Bissaka in, I didn't think we had a good defensive right back, since we had Gary Neville. And I think Wan-Bissaka can actually, emulate into Gary Neville, if I'm going to be quite honest. We had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand. They were a fantastic centre-back partnership, under the Alex Ferguson era. And like I said before, or did I say earlier on in the video, if I can remember, I think the likes of Harry Maguire and Vince Lindelof can emulate into like a Vidic and a Ferdinand and that. So we had great players under Alex Ferguson. I'm not going to name them all. We even had good goalkeepers under Alex Ferguson. We had Edwin van der Sar, he was fantastic. We had Fabian Barthez a lot of years ago now. But I just don't think they're in the same calibre as David De Gea and that. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is following Alex Ferguson's philosophy. Obviously, he said he believes he's following a policy that proved successful under Alex Ferguson. But I initially said, regardless of who our manager is, we're never going to be the team what was under Alex Ferguson. We're never going to achieve what we achieved under Alex Ferguson. No one's going to ever follow Alex Ferguson's legacy in that. But I still believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can get us back to being a competitive elite level football club. Because I'm going to give my honest opinion, and I hate to say it, but City are a really, really good team now. The strides ahead of us at the moment. I could even say Liverpool are strides ahead of us at the moment, because like I said, Liverpool haven't invested this summer, so few people have written them off for the title. Obviously Liverpool never won the Premier League since it got founded in 1992, or was it 1993 it got founded, so they haven't won it all in all for like 3 decades. Liverpool did invest well in the last couple of windows though. Before this window they invested really, really well. But the strides ahead of us at the moment, you've got Manchester City. Obviously, people will favour City for the league this season. Obviously, City are going for their 3rd league now in a row, because obviously, they've already won back-to-back titles of Man City. Obviously, they won it last season. They won it the season before, I think, where they did get 100 points, Man City. But Man City, are a really, really good team. And, I've been honest, they are better than us. And I hate to say that. I hate to say Liverpool are better than us, because, Liverpool are our fiercest rivals. Obviously, I don't even like Manchester City. But I put Manchester City in front of a team that, won 3 back-to-back Premier League titles back in 2007, 2008, 2009. I also put them in front of a team that, won the treble, back in 1999. And that's obviously, one of our greatest achievements. Obviously, it was one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moments as a player for Manchester United. Obviously, City won the English domestic treble last season. But City have spent a hell of a lot of money, basically, just like we have and that. But at the moment, City are strides ahead of us. But I don't think we're winning the league this season. But I think if we get the right investment in January and next summer, I think we can definitely win the league for next season. Well, I'm very, very hopeful that we can. Because like I said, we haven't won it since 2013. But like I did say to you, we have got players on big contracts. Don't forget, we got Rashford now. He's on 200 grand a week, potentially rising up to 300 grand a week, on the bonuses and that included. You've got David De Gea, he's agreed a 6-year contract on Manchester United. I think it's worth around £117 million over 6 years, but I think it's around 375 grand a week. But I just don't think his contract has been announced as yet. You've got Paul Pogba, he's on 290 grand a week. You've got Martial, who's on a substantial amount because he signed a 5-year deal back in January. And I'm glad. Another reason I'm glad we got Lukaku, why we offloaded Lukaku, because he was on a substantial amount when he was at Manchester United. He was on around over 200 grand a week. So we haven't only generated a substantial amount for his departure, it's also freed up our wage bill. Of us getting rid of Romelu Lukaku. So yeah, we have got players on big contracts. Obviously with Sanchez as well, he's on £500,000 a week with image rights and bonuses. Obviously Sanchez is the highest paid player in the football club and the highest paid player in the Premier League. Talking about Alexis Sanchez, obviously he didn't play, throughout pre-season. I think Sanchez has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, as Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, there was talks a couple of days ago saying that Roma were in talks with Manchester United of the prospect of taking Alexis Sanchez out on a long-season loan. Obviously, for the majority of the summer anyway, we tried to get rid of Alexis Sanchez, but obviously we found it very, very difficult, reflecting on his substantial wage. And that I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed, that Sanchez is still part of his first team plans for this season. And that obviously Sanchez has not exceeded expectation levels at Manchester United, as we all thought he would have done. Obviously, he's been here since January 2018 and he's been largely inconsistent, and I thought he would have succeeded at Manchester United, reflecting back what he did at Arsenal, because he did have 4 good years with Arsenal. He also, played under Pep Guardiola's guidance when he was younger at Barcelona. I think he had around 3 good years at Barcelona, and that, did Alexis Sanchez, but he just hasn't replicated any of this at Manchester United. He's age 30 now, he's basically hasn't got a future at the club, but now we look more fluent in attack. Sanchez, could perform better this season, but he did say a couple of days ago that Roma were in talks of getting Alexis Sanchez on loan. But Sanchez didn't play throughout pre-season because I think whilst he was on Copa America duty, he had currently sustained an injury with Chile in that. But Sanchez should, get his chances this season. But like I said, I believe more players, do need to be sold. And nothing much really more to say in that. But like I said, a good result against Chelsea, comfortably, winning by 4 goals. Now, I thought Man U would have won the game. I thought we definitely would have won the game. I just didn't think we would have won by such a high margin. 4-0, it basically, replicates, the FA Cup final in 1994, of course, when we beat Chelsea 4-0. I think that's the last time we actually beat Chelsea by 4 goals to 0, back in 1994. Before obviously won the weekend against them 4-0. But I thought, it was a good team performance from Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, in the first 15-20 minutes I thought Chelsea were on top in the game. They were causing us problems, especially in that midfield. We kept losing the ball far too easily. Chelsea looked good on the ball, they were pressing well, they were creating decent opportunities, and don't forget, they hit the woodwork. They also hit the post with Chelsea with Abraham and Emerson and that. But I think as soon as we got the penalty, I think that's when we started getting on top in the game. We come to grips with Chelsea, but we didn't really create a lot of chances in the game. I think we created 5 or 6, and 4 of them chances went in. But we were just clinical, and obviously we couldn't took our chances. It was a very, very good win against Chelsea. And that, like I said, it was good to see Pogba get 2 assists. Rashford get his name on the score sheet twice. Also, it was good to see Andres Pereira, of course, get an assist. Good to see also Daniel James scoring on his Premier League debut. Coming off the bench. But I did say anyway, that Chelsea have got problems. They've got a transfer ban. Obviously, they've lost one of the best players throughout the course of the summer through Eden Hazard. And Chelsea have got a pretty decent squad, and there's question marks regarding Frank Lampard. Has he got all the attributes to succeed as a manager at Chelsea? Can he succeed to the highest level of management? I don't think he can, to be quite honest with you, even though he knows Chelsea, inside out. He knows the traditions of their club, because obviously Frank Lampard was a long-serving player for Chelsea. He spent 13 years with them. He scored 211 goals. I think he's at their all-time record leading goal scorer is Frank Lampard. But I just don't know if he hasn't really got the experience of a manager, has he? He only started management last season with Derby. I do believe, he got Derby to the playoff final and that, but Chelsea have, got problems. But it was a good result, for Manchester United. Like I said, I think we are second now in the league. Obviously, we go to Wolves next Monday. I think Wolves is going to be a difficult game. I know Wolves didn't win the first game against Leicester. They drew 0-0, but Wolves did well last season. I think they finished 7th. Obviously, Nuno Santo deserves praise because he's done a pretty decent job. Don't forget, Wolves did the double over as last season. I think they beat us 2-1 twice at Molineux. They knocked us out of the cup as well. They knocked us out the FA Cup, and Wolves have got some pretty decent players. It is Monday night, by the way, the Wolves game. It's next Monday. We currently play Wolves. But that's going to be a pretty difficult game. But I do believe also this season that our record against the top 6 sides is going to improve. I don't think we'll beat all the top 6 sides, home and away. But I think, our record this season, will improve against the top 6 sides, because, it wasn't really that good last season, as you all know. So the main part of this video, was to give you the latest news about Paul Pogba and give you the latest news of all the rest of the news that's going on throughout the course of the media. But before I go, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's formation he's going to go with this season. I think he's going to use that 4-2-3-1 this season on a regular basis. He may go with a 4-3-3, a couple of times. They're the two main formations that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does go with. But I think he'll mainly go with a 4-2-3-1 and that. And but yeah, we have got a pretty decent squad, like I said, guys. I can see the vast improvements in Manchester United, but there's still more improvements needed. So if we can go in January, get Bruno Fernandes, because I think we've got a great chance of getting him in January. If we can maybe get another midfielder in, that would be even better. Then I think we can we can win the league for next season without shadow of a doubt. Definitely. But like I said, Tottenham should be now the shout this season. I forgot to mention. They should be even challenging for the league this season at least. Because they invested really well on deadline day. Did Tottenham? Obviously, Pochettino's expectations probably this season will be to win some silverware with Tottenham because he's a good manager, he's Pochettino, but he hasn't got that proven pedigree yet of winning any silverware, of course. But Tottenham's expectations will be to win something this season. There should be title contenders, like I said. You've got Arsenal. Some people say they should be title contenders, but Arsenal always seem to ball it, when they're going for league titles. But I don't think they'll win it this season, Arsenal. I think they'll definitely finish in the top 4. I think they're definitely going to have a better season this season than what we saw last season at Arsenal. But we'll see what happens. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.